she's the one on Gamble Street. But we decided to try something totally different, just because people are always asking, you know, about the source. So just, you know, feel free to ask questions. But Judy just asked a question about this area, and this is the raw material. This is what I'm constructing everything out of. And I would love for you to take a piece as a souvenir.
Oh, nice.
And the question was whether I did each one by hand. And yes, indeed, each one was done by hand. It's etched paper, and I bring it here. And I used to use just kind of leftover prints when I was doing flat work, and I was collaging them into larger work. And now it's a bit more directed, where I want her to do certain colors.
Is that foam core then?
It is foam core, and there's also, because it's foam core, it's really easy to cut and like making interesting cuts of construction. So for building corners and angling things. So I love using that material. I wouldn't use wood because I don't want to get into the heavy duty machine. But any grants I get just go to all of that, to the Japanese paper.
Which paper are you using?
Kurtani, and it's the lightest. I've tried different kinds, and there's Kurtani has 3 different weights of it, and the lightest one is the best because it wraps really beautifully. I've just divided them up, and the other thing I was experimenting with foam core was how you make something solid, bendable. The only thing I use, I don't measure, but I do use these cutting boards because they've got the grid on them. And so I can just see if I'm starting to go off the straight and narrow, and then I just get myself back onto it. But, you know, you just get into a rhythm of scoring.
So do you start with your construction then in the past, before you've done a drawing? You just start to construct?
Yes. Well, I shouldn't say that completely. I do drawings, and I collect images. This one in particular, this is for the one at Open Studio, this piece, because it is shaped like that. And this, I was in London last year, and on the south side, you walk underneath the bridge, and the bridge is Blackfriars. And this is the history. There's tiling when you go under the bridge there. And these are by Piranesi. They were etchings by Piranesi. And the history of it was that when Robert Milne is a Scottish architect who built Blackfriars Bridge, when he was building it, he was sending notation to Piranesi in Rome because he had studied with him. And then Piranesi, from those notations, would tell him what's wrong with his construction and make corrections and all that. So there was this back and forth for quite a few years. And then Piranesi took the notes that he had from Milne, and he made these etchings. And that's why it's the construction of it. It's not the actual bridge. So this is the negative space, and the bridge would have gone across there. So all of this would have been bricked over. In fact, I think there's some little bricks already in motion there. And then that's the thing that holds it over the Thames, and then there'd be the bridge across like that. So I love the fact that it's the negative space that he was working with.
Would you ever consider taking them apart and using the parts and reconstructing them like Libby does?
Yeah, I would. It depends on what where I'm going
Are
next.
they raw material for something else?
Yeah. And they certainly can be. Like I'm not using those anymore, but actually when I was, I did. I stripped some houses and made them into something else.